Hello, I Anand Jain from Hanumangarh, Rajasthan welcomes you to your favorite Shridevi Classes YouTube channel where we inculcate interest and confidence in science, engineering and architecture subjects. Today in our playlist of architecture building services, we'll discuss requirements of water supply. We'll discuss how much quantity of water is required as liter per capita per day for different type of buildings. We will also describe quality standards of water supply, the distribution system and service connection of water supply, and standard practices for internal installation and storage. So let's start. Basic requirement of water supply in buildings. In India, the Indian Standard 1172 of 1983, that is Code of Basic Requirements for Water Supply, Drainage and Sanitation, serves as a comprehensive guide, and this code covers all aspects, that is planning, design, construction and maintenance related to water supply, drainage and sanitation systems in any type of building. This Indian Standard Code 1172 lay down basic requirement of water supply, drainage and sanitation for all categories of buildings, that is residential, commercial, industrial or any other type of building in urban areas, and it also include railway platforms, bus terminals, seaports, airports, market yards, and describe all basic requirements for water supply, drainage and sanitation. Now this code doesn't account for any overcrowding that may be either casual or permanent nature. There are some general requirements and all buildings shall conform to those in regards to water supply, drainage as well as sanitation. Premises for which water supply connection is given is neither connected with unsafe water or as sewage that is subjected to the hazards of backflow, back siphonage. In any building, plumbing fixtures, devices, accessories shall be supplied with water from Water Supply Authority in sufficient volume and at sufficient pressure that is adequate to enable these fixtures, devices and accessories to function satisfactorily under all normal conditions of use. In any building, our distribution lines, service connection and internal plumbing shall be designed and adjusted to use the minimum quantity of water consistent with proper performance and cleaning requirement. In plumbing, devices of heating and storing heat water shall be so designed and installed so as to prevent all type of dangers from explosion through overheating. In a residential building, the quantum of water supply is specified in terms of liter per capita per day, and a minimum of 70 to 100 liter per capita per day may be considered adequate for domestic use, and 45 liter per capita per day may be taken for flushing or other cleaning requirement, and in that we may use 5 liter per capita per day for drinking and cooking. Bathing take maximum amount of water supply, and that is specified as 55 liter per capita per day. For washing of clothes we need 20 liters per day per capita, and for utensils, washing or washing of house or other part we need each 10 liter per day per capita, and in all we need 135 liter per capita per day, and it is our biggest concern to provide this 135 liter per capita per day in our households, and that too with other specified quality standards. On an average, Indian cities receive only 70 liter per capita per day against the minimum specified requirement of 135 liter per capita per day, and the water supplied in Indian standard also got substandard and questionable quality, and our household depend either on small scale public or private players like tankers, or they may use self tube wells or hand pumps, and in such conditions household also have to invest on storage and pumping of water, and they have underground storage tanks, water lifting pump and overhead storage tanks to ensure adequate amount of water supply in their households. As per Indian Standard 1172 code, the supply authority has to ensure the specified quantity of water liter per capita per day in any building, and that too at good reasonable available head in distribution line of the locality. So water should have sufficient amount of water at sufficient pressure. The supply authority provide domestic service connection for supply of water at ground level of the premises, and supply authority is not responsible to lift water to any elevated level in a building. That has to be done by building owner itself. So supply has to provide sufficient amount of water at ground level. As per Indian Standard 1172, water requirement for any person in liter per capita per day depends upon type of building. For domestic residences, school, college, hostels or boarding schools, it is specified as 135 liter per capita per day. For cinemas, concert halls, theaters, the consumption is mentioned as 15 liter per capita per day. For office factory with bathroom, it is 45 liter per capita per day, and without bathroom it is only 30 liter per capita per day. For day schools it is 45 liter per capita per day. For restaurant it is 70, and for hotel it is 180 liter per capita per day. And hospitals, which also include laundry services, with 100 bed hospital, this amount of water requirement is 340 liter per capita per day. And if hostel got more than 100 beds, then this water requirement may increase up to 450 liter per capita per day. So for standard one day occupancy per capita, water requirement is 135 liter, and hotel and hospital may require more amount of water. Railway stations, bus terminals, airports or seaports include provision for waiting rooms or waiting halls, and for that the requirement of water for supply, drainage, sanitation is according to this table depends on nature of station. If it is a intermediate station, then with bathing facility this is 45 liter per capita per day, and if there is no bathing facility on intermediate station, then water requirement is just 25 liter per capita per day. And for junction or terminal stations without bathing facility, this water requirement is 45 liter per capita per day, and with bathing facility at junction or terminal station of railway lines or bus services, it is 70 liter per capita per day. And for airports, whether they are domestic airports or international airports, this water requirement is same as that of junction stations with bathing facility, and it is 70 liter per capita per day. So for railway and bus station, minimum water requirement is 25 liter per capita per day, and it may be 45 for intermediate station with bathing facility or junction or terminal station without bathing facility, and the same is 70 liter per capita per day for airports or junction or terminal station of bus and rail with bathing facility. Now the number of persons that are determined by average number of passengers handled by that station or port, and in that consideration we must include the staff and other vendors which use the same facilities at station positions, and in this calculation we must consider the water requirement for seasonal average peak calculation. Indian Standard 1172 for water supply, drainage and sanitation also describe quality standard for supply of water. When water is supplied, it may contaminate by multiple routes, it may contaminate by animal waste, or if our septic system is not properly handled, then that may also contaminate our groundwater, aquifer or supply system. and that become a route for transmission of pathogens and severely affect the health of people who use that water. For us, contamination like fluoride or arsenic are also a serious concern. Domestic sewage system is also sometimes become a major source of groundwater contamination. Industrial effluents also contaminate our aquifers severely, and when we use water and distribute that to residents, there is also chances of contamination due to household storage or operational behavior. This Indian Standard 1172 of 1983 for water supply, drainage and sanitation specifies the quality of water suitable for drinking purpose, and it provides detailed guideline for purification and for storage, treatment and distribution of water in main lines and through service connection to different buildings. Code outline guidelines for design, location, capacity and material used in construction of water storage tanks or reservoir within buildings, whether they are underground tanks or overhead storage systems. It also covers safety consideration and ensure all measures to prevent contamination or deterioration of stored water. So at consumer premises, the storage of water must be as per building bylaws, and the reservoir, storage tank and all distribution pipelines used for water for domestic or drinking purpose should be disinfected periodically to ensure health and hygiene of residents. For water distribution system, this code recommends different plumbing fixtures, pipe, fittings and installation practices to ensure safe, efficient and reliable water distribution system within building. Pipe may be made of any material. They may be GI, PVC, CPVC, UPVC or high density polyethylene. But material should conform to relevant Indian standard specification, or it should be as mentioned in National Building Code of India. And in domestic plumbing installation, we should not use any lead pipe or lead fittings in domestic water supply except for flushing and overflow pipes. The design of supply pipeline or service connection should work such to ensure no possibility of backflow towards supply source, and they must use suitable devices to stop backflow towards supply source. All pipeline work shall be so designed, laid and fixed and maintained so as to remain completely watertight, thereby avoiding waste of water, damage to property and the risk of contamination of water that is used. Underground piping up to diameter of 120 cm shall be laid at a depth that is dia plus 30 cm. That means a pipe of 50 cm dia should be laid at a depth of 80 cm, 50 plus 30 cm, 80 cm depth, so that it is unlikely to be damaged by traffic loads and vibrations. In layout of pipe work, due attention should be given to maximum rate of discharge, so it avoid unnecessary bends and sharp corners or excess fittings, and it also ensure economy in labor and material, and all sort of protection against damage and corrosion, and it should avoid water hammer, noise transmission and unsightly bad appearance in arrangement. Service pipe shall be connected to main line by means of standard brass ferrule or T branches. The brass ferrule shall be connected to consumer pipe through a flexible pipe, and when boring is done on mainline pipe, it should be near to the crown of pipe, and an appropriate saddle clamp shall be provided over the boring to avoid any leakage and ensure firmness of connection. and water supply should be metered by appropriate arrangement and should have provision for stoppage of reverse flow. During installation, any underground water supply pipe shall not be run or laid in the same trench which has the drainage pipe. Where this is unavoidable and same trench is used for drainage pipe as well as supply water line, the bottom of water service pipe at all points shall be at least 30 centimeter above the top of sewer or drainage pipe. In Indian water supply system, there exist huge water distribution losses in our Indian cities. These losses are both physical due to old aged pipe and lack of maintenance, and they are also economic monetary losses due to incomplete metering and billing. The physical losses occur in three main ways. One is leakage in our distribution mains, the second is leakage at storage tank, and the third is leakage at service connection points. Lack of operation and maintenance is a major cause of such distribution losses in our water supply lines, and this also affect the longevity of our system. And Indian water supply distribution system is currently trapped in a vicious circle where we built a water supply system and neglect its operation and maintenance, then we have to rebuild it. The water supply system of our cities depends on mix of groundwater as well as surface water, and large cities of high population rely more on surface water, and that too exist at a far away distance position from such big cities. So our dependence on groundwater is increasing, and that has resulted in depletion of urban water aquifers. And to counter this, in the year 2002, many municipal corporations and several states in India have passed legislation that mandate construction of rainwater harvesting in any new building installations, and by that we collect rainwater and either store that and use for our applications, or after a prelim purification we can use that to recharge our groundwater aquifers. We hope this small learning video has explained basic requirement for water supply in our urban cities. Our other video has described drainage and sanitation requirements. This playlist also got very good information of building surfaces regarding electrical installation, heating, ventilation and air conditioning. If you found this material useful, do like it and share that to your friends. Happy learning. Have a nice time. Thank you very much.